the Sravakas. There is Samayanitvana a position of salvation starting from the conviction producing a dharmajnana concearing suffering up to the conviction producing a subsequent dharma concerning the path. As it is said in a sutra, in the three evil destinies 3 things cannot be found. 1. The position of salvation, 2. The fruits of the saints, 3. The destruction of the impurities, just as they cannot be found in immoral beings, blinded by wrong views or guilty of the 5 wrongdoings of immediate retribution. Then, in the bodhisattva system, starting from which dharmas is it a question of the bodhisattvana yama? Answer. In order to enter into the bodhisattvana yama, it is necessary to cultivate completely 4 dharmas. 1. The first production of the mind of bodhi. 2. The practice of meditation. 3. Great compassion. 4. Skillful means. Likewise, in the Sravaka system, first the 4 roots of good must be completely fulfilled, viz. 1. Heats, 2. Summits, 3. Patiences, 4. Supreme worldly dharmas, in order then to accede to duk dharmajananaksati constituting the Samayanitvana yama. Question. But carrying out the practices includes the 4 dharmas you have just mentioned. Why do you distinguish 4 of them? Answer. 1. Production of the mind of bodhi. The first production of the mind of bodhi indeed involves carrying out a practice, but as it is not practiced for a long time, I do not call it carrying out a practice. Thus, when a householder does not stay at home all day, he is not said, however, to be away on a journey. 2. Carrying out practices. Furthermore, while at the moment when he produces the mind of bodhi, the bodhisattva is only formulating a vow in his mind, whereas at the time of the practices, he is really acting. He makes material gifts to people, he engages in rituals, etc. Thus pratice of the 6 perfections is called carrying out the practices. 3. Great compassion. Having carried out the practices, the bodhisattva, by means of the perfection of wisdom, knows the true nature of dharmas. And with a feeling of great compassion, he has pity for beings who do not know this true nature of dharmas and who become attached to the deceiving systems of the world and thereby undergo all sorts of physical suffering and mental suffering. This is called experiencing great compassion, but not carrying out the practices. 4. Skillful means. As for skillful means, here is the following. Completely fulfilling the perfection of wisdom, the bodhisattva knows the emptiness of dharmas, and with great compassion, he pities beings. Here are 2 things to be considered. 1. By the power of his perfection of wisdom, the bodhisattva feels no attachment for things. 2. Although he knows the true nature of dharmas, the power of his skillful means is such that he does not abandon beings. Without abandoning beings, he knows the true emptiness of dharmas. If the 2 things in him prajna and upaya are balanced, then the bodhisattva can accede to bodhisattvana yama. Similarly, the Sravaka, in whom the 2 things concentration and wisdom are balanced, accedes at this moment to the position of salvation. Although they involve a certain practice, these dharmas of the bodhisattva, viz. Production of the mind of bodhi, the carrying out of the practices, great compassion and skillful means take on other names as well and, except for the second, are not called carrying out the practices. All the practices carried out by the bodhisattva from his first production of the mind of bodhi up to his sitting on the seat of enlightenment are the carrying out of practice under different names. But as there are a few slight differences, they are given different names to distinguish them more easily. 4. Skillful means and wisdom. When someone produces the mind of supreme complete enlightenment for the first time, he wants to free all beings from physical and mental sufferings, old age, sickness, death, etc. He formulates great vows and is adorned with 2 things, qualities and wisdom, as a result of which his wishes will all be fulfilled. These 2 things involve a 6-fold carrying out of practices. These are the 6 perfections. Generosity, morality, and patience make up the guna part. Exertion, meditation 3a and wisdom make up the prajna part. The bodhisattva practices these 6 perfections. Knowing that the characteristics of these dharmas are very profound, subtle, difficult to probe and difficult to understand, he has the following thought. Beings are attached to the dharmas of the threefold world. By what means can I lead them to find the natures of these dharmas? For that I must fulfill completely the qualities and be endowed with pure wisdom. The Buddha's body has 32 primary marks and 80 secondary marks. His radiance is perfect and his superknowledges are immense. By means of his 10 powers, 4 fearlessnesses, 18 special attributes and 4 unhindered knowledges, he considers those who should be saved, preaches the Dharma to them and converts them. Thus the Garuda, the golden-winged king of the birds, when he finds some nagas to be destroyed, strikes the sea with his wings and separates the waters. Then he seizes them and devours them. In the same way, the Buddha with his Buddha eye considers beings distributed in the universes of the 10 directions and inhabiting the 5 destinies, and he asks himself who should be saved. First he manifests the bases of his magical power. Then he uncovers the trains of thought of their minds. Having removed the 3 obstacles by these 2 things, he preaches the Dharma and saves beings of the threefold world. A being who thus holds the powers of the Buddha and immense superknowledges would merit belief even if he were lying, all the more so when he is speaking the truth. That is what is called skillful means. Furthermore, the bodhisattva, knowing the true nature and remembering his previous vows, wants to save beings. He has the following reflection. In the true nature of dharmas, there are no beings to be found. Then how to save them? He has the following thought. There are no beings to be found in the true nature of dharmas, but, nevertheless, they are ignorant of this nature of dharmas. Therefore I wish that they should know this true nature. Finally, this true nature of dharmas does not harm beings, for it is defined as being without harm and without activity. That is what is meant by skillful means. The bodhisattva who completely fulfills these 4 dharmas, accedes to the bodhisattvana. 5th section, surpassing the lower vehicles and acceding to the irreversible ground. This section does not add anything to the preceding section, but insists on the close relationship between the bodhisattvana and the quality of irreversible bodhisattva. The latter is not really acquired until the 9th Bhumi Sutra. The bodhisattva mahasattva who wishes to surpass the stages of Sravaka and Pratyekabuddha and who wishes to take his place on the irreversible ground should exert himself in the perfection of wisdom. Sastra. Surpassing the stage of Sravaka and Pratyekabuddha.